What's up, everyone? Iron Monk here, and today I'm going to talk about kind of like an overview of Windwalker in Shadowlands Prepatch and what I run in Mythic Plus and raids. So, I guess to start it off, I'm going to talk about what's changed in Prepatch for Windwalker. So, not a lot has changed for Windwalker. Definitely our damage profile has changed. We're not that huge burst class that we were before, where you do Touch of Death and you do your opener and you burst for 250k plus on an opener. So we're not that anymore. What we are is kind of like a sustained damage class. We're really good in AOE. We're okay in single target, but I think that overall we're kind of more consistent damage across the board, which is okay. Personally, I'm gonna miss having the big burst AOE, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna talk about kind of what's changed right now in Shadowlands pre-patch, so we can talk about some of the abilities that we've gotten now. So Expel Harm. We've got Expel Harm now. Baseline, basically, it generates 1 chi, and it says you expel negative chi from your body, healing for some amount and dealing 10% of the amount healed as nature damage to an enemy within 8 yards. The damage is pretty negligible. The healing's pretty small. It's kind of used as a chi generator or a filler if you're not capped on chi already. Spinning Crane Kick has got a little bit of a change. So, like everybody else, we've gotten target capped on a lot of our abilities. Spinning Crane Kick is capped at 6 targets. But now you're able to get 6 stacks of Mark of the Crane. It used to be 5. So for each unique enemy that's struck with either Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick in the last 15 seconds, you get a 10% damage increase. So it used to be only 5 targets you can get stack up to get that damage increase. Now it's 6. So that's pretty good. We've gotten Fortifying Brew, so we have another defensive now on top of Dampen Harm or Diffuse Magic and Karma. Now we also have Fortifying Brew. This is the same one that Brewmaster only used to have, but now we get it as well. So does Mistweaver. The other big change here is Zwen. Invoke Zwen the White Tiger is now baseline. Previously, this was a talent. Basically, you can just press a button and Zwen comes out and does some damage to enemies. The biggest one, the one I kind of hinted at in the beginning, was Touch of Death. So, Touch of Death. Now, you exploit your enemies. You exploit the enemy's target's weakest point, instantly killing creatures if they have less health than you. So if they have less health than you can instantly kill a mob. But you can also deal damage equal to 35% of your maximum health against players and stronger creatures under 15% health. So it's like a pretty crappy execute. You would use that in raid or against some sort of bosses, or if you want to just delete a mob that has less health, and you could use it too. It's a pretty long cooldown, 3 minutes. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but we gotta live with it for now. Alright, so since this is pre-patch, we still have essences and Azerite. So I'll go over kind of what Azerite I'm currently running. So I'm currently running on the Helm. I'm running Open Palm Strike and Heart of Darkness. I'm not going to go too much into the inner rows. Basically, in pre-patch, what you want to get is as much stats as possible. My testing has kind of indicated that anything that gives raw stats, like agility or versatility or crit mastery or anything like that, are probably the best bet to go. So right now I have Open Palm Strikes, Heart of Darkness. On the shoulders, I'm running Fury Zwen in Heart of Darkness. Oh, actually, just a quick note here. Fury Zwen and Dance of Chi-Ji on your Azerite. So Fury Zwen, you basically get this stacking chance to summon Zwen for 8 seconds. That procs independently of your Tiger that you can summon. So sometimes you can have 2 Tigers out at the same time. It's kind of funny. But they do proc independently. Same thing here with Dance of Chi-Ji. Well, actually, we haven't gotten into it yet, but The Dance of Chi-Ji here procs independently than the talent Dance of Chi-Ji, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So on the shoulders here, I'm running Fury's Wind and Heart of Darkness. Fury's Wind's pretty good damage proc, and then Heart of Darkness is just raw stats. Notice that I've dropped Open Palm Strikes here. This is kind of what sims the highest for me in single target and AoE. On my chest here, I'm running Dance of Chi-Ji and Heart of Darkness again. So notice that I'm running 3 Heart of Darknesses and only 1 Open Palm Strike. As previously, you would want 3 Open Palm Strikes, and then a mixture between Dance of Chi-Ji and Fury's Wind and Heart of Darkness. So stats is kind of what you want to get, as much stats as possible, since we've all been kind of squished down. So in terms of essences, I'm running Blood of the Enemy Major. I have used Focusing Iris in dungeons, which does pretty well, but for mixed content like a Mythic Plus dungeon, I've run Blood of the Enemy. In raid, like single target encounters, Condensed Life Force is really good as a major. And then for my minors, I'm running Crucible of Flame. So this does actually a lot of damage in all content. So I'm running Crucible of Flame, Essence of the Focusing Iris for the raw stats that you get from it, and then Conflict and Strife rank 3 as a minor for some versatility and, again, more stats. Notice that I'm not running Breath of the Dying. Previously we would be running Breath of the Dying. This has been underwhelming. Ran quite a bit of dungeons and did some raiding. Breath of the Dying doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of damage, so this is what I'm running with currently right now. In terms of gearing, right now I'm running 2 Mythic Urchins as weapons with no slap proc on them, so no corruption, so they've all been cleansed, so we have no corruption on these. But important thing to note, I've now been running with a agility gem, the plus 18 agility gem, and I've been running with a 12 agility gem because main stat is super valuable. For trinkets, I'm running Alchemist Stone and Harlan's Loaded Dice. So Harlan's Loaded Dice sims really well in all content because it gives a lot of stats. Like I said before, we just want a lot of stats now. So this is basically what I've been running with in Mythic Plus and Raid. In terms of gear wise, I don't really change this at all. And then the last thing I'm going to go over is talents here, because we did get some changes on the talents. So, as I said before, we've gotten some new abilities. So Windwalker has quite a, like about 3 new buttons that we press regularly. So, instead of going Chi Burst, I've been going Eye of the Tiger for 1 less button to press. Tiger's Lust I find to be really good still. Chi Torpedo goes too far. I guess I could get away with going with Celerity, but Tiger's Lust is just too versatile because you can cast it on other people. On the level 30 row here, I typically default to Fist of the White Tiger. Energizing Elixir is also very good. I've used this a lot in dungeons as well. Mathematically speaking, Energizing Elixir should beat out Fist of the White Tiger with what it gives. So you chug an Energizing Elixir, granting 2G and generating 75 energy over 5 seconds, which is this is pretty good to use. You could basically just swap these out interchangeably. And then Ascension, a lot of people run with Ascension, gives you 1 less button to press, increases your maximum chi by 1 and maximum energy by 20, and then your energy regeneration by 10%. So I see a lot of monks running with Ascension to get the amount of buttons that you press down. Level 35, go with Ring of Peace. It's just too good not to go with. Row 40, Diffuse Magic for magic damage. Any other damage, take Dampen Harm. And then 45, here's where the big change comes in. For AoE and Mythic Plus, Dance of Chi-Ji is now a talent. And this procs independently of the Dance of Chi-Ji on your Azerite. So you can get effectively almost double the procs. I don't know if it's quite double the procs, but you get a lot more procs when you take this. Hit combo. Still the best option on this row for single target. For any type of AoE content, you take Dance with Chi-Ji. And then the level 50 row, Whirlwind Dragon Punch by default still. Serenity is no good, and Spiritual Focus has never been good. So this is what I run talent-wise. So that's basically what I've been running with in pre-patch. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. If you want to see some gameplay footage, you can follow me at twitch.tv/IronMonkTyson. I'll leave a description below. And if you like this video, please like or subscribe. Thank you.